Hi guys, I hope you can hear me and see me. Let me know in the chat so I know that you can hear me and see me. Welcome to the Spirit Guide Show. Again, let me know in the chat if you can see me or hear me. Okay, Kara says hello, so I'm guessing you can see me and hear me. Perfect. All right, so while you are typing that, also share with anyone who would be interested in watching the show with you today. There's a share button, I think, up here for you guys. It says share, so you can click on there, invite anyone that would be interested. That would be great. So while you do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Yamile Yemoonyah, and I'm a spirit guide medium, which means that I can sense people's spirit guides and give you messages from your spirit guides. I'm also a Hay House author, and my book, The 7 Types of Spirit Guide, will come out soon. I'm super excited about it. And you can find me at thespiritguidemedium.com, and I'll type that in the chat for you in case you have never seen my website. And you can also find me on Instagram, and I'll also type that into the chat. If you follow me there, send me a DM, say hello, tell me that you've been here. Also, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, come on over here, because only here can I later give you a reading or answer your questions. There's a link either above or below, depending on the social network you're on right now, but come on over here. All right, if you have any tech issues, the easiest thing you can do is to reload the page, so refresh the page, and then 99% of the time the problem is solved. All right, so, and also let me know where you guys are from. I always love seeing it. I always try to get like all the continents together. Let's see. So we have Martine from Belgium. Yay. We have Maria from Northern California. Maria's almost always here. We have Linda from Baton Rouge. Oh, I think I told you, Linda, I have like distant relatives in Baton Rouge. And we have, let me see. Now you're answering other questions. Here we have Jem from Colorado in the US. We have Angie from Washington, Kara from Canada, Caroline from Kenya. Yay, Africa in the house. Awesome. Oh yeah, and we have Kayad from Belgium. We have Elizabeth from Kansas. Jackie also from Canada. Yes, lots of different. And then we have Miriam from Lebanon. We have Lucy from Australia, Southern California. Oh, Sarah from also Lebanon. God, there's lots of people from Lebanon today. Rosa from Atlanta. Great. Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to have you. So today we are going to talk about how your spirit guides can help you discover your purpose, develop your natural gifts, and create real change in the world. And in the second part of the show, we're going to do a Q&A, so you can ask me any kind of questions you have about spirit guides. And in the third part, we're going to do mini readings. So let's get started. We still have people coming in. So we have Angie from the UK, Rahul from South Asia, Elissa from El Paso in Texas, Sarah from Italy, and Crystal from South Louisiana. Awesome. All right, so there's a famous quote by David Viscott, and it goes like this: the purpose of life is to discover your gift. The work of life is to develop it. And the meaning of life is to give it away. So he basically says, finding your purpose has like these 3 different parts. First, you need to discover your gifts. Then you need to develop it, your gift, and then you need to give it away, share it with the world so you can create change, right? Yeah, I love that quote too, Kara. I've discovered it like 10 years ago, and it's like I live by it. So even if like I didn't know this quote as a kid, obviously, but the idea behind it has guided me throughout my entire life. I've always felt like I had some mission to accomplish. And I think a lot of you guys have that same feeling, like there is something why you're here. So if you have that feeling, let me know in the chat. Just type yes. The quote is by David Wiskott. So I can type that in the chat for you if you want. Hold on. That's his name. So yeah, but so I always had this feeling that I have a mission, but I didn't know what it was. Only when I started working with my spirit guides did things start to fall into place. And that's really the motivation behind my work. I want you to connect with your spirit guides so they can help you fulfill your life's mission as well. Because I don't know what it is, your guides do. So all I can do is connect you with your guides and they can take it from there. That's actually something I learned from a teacher that I had when I started my spiritual path 20 years ago. He said exactly that. Like his job is to connect like his students with their guides, and then the guides can take it from there. And that's exactly what I want to do with you guys, help you. So that's why I do this show. That's why I wrote my book. And that's why I will launch a community around this topic of creating change in the world with the help of your spirit guides in November. But I'll talk about that later. For people who are serious about stepping into their purpose and creating real change in the world with the help of their spirit guides. So let's start with that first part. The purpose of life is to discover your gift. And that's probably the part that most of you want to know about, because we don't even think about the other two parts usually. So how do you discover your gifts, purposes with the help of your spirit guides? Let me tell you how this worked in my life. So when one of my spirit guides turned up in physical form in my bedroom in the middle of the night in the year 2000, I was in my mid-20s and felt completely lost. I had no clue what to do with my life and dealt with all kinds of issues like identity issues and trust issues and all kinds of things. And it wasn't easy. And then my guide appeared in my life, like literally physically in my bedroom. Did I suddenly have an epiphany about my life's purpose after my guide showed up? Did I suddenly know how to make money doing what I love? Did he give me explicit instructions? Nope, of course he didn't. That's not how guides work, unfortunately, sometimes. It was more like of a slow process. It was about trusting my own soul knowing, the universe and my guides. And it was about following my intuition. And it was about following the little signs and the synchronicities. And doing that is what led me to discover that seeing spirit guides is maybe not normal. Duh, right? But I didn't realize that. They just showed up and I was like, okay, now what? And then I just went on living my life. But yeah, I realized, okay, there is something to this. And it led me to see that I have a gift that I can use to help others. And with that gift, I discovered how I can live my purpose. And once I surrendered to the fact that I will never know what's around the corner, in other words, no one knows like where we're headed. I don't know, you don't know, that's just life. We have to just trust. So once I realized that I don't have to know where my journey is headed, that I just have to put one foot in front of the other and take one step at a time, is when things started falling into place. So I let go of control and I let my soul and the universe and my guides guide me. That's when things started to flow. So I never dreamed that I would publish a book with Hay House. Like that wasn't even sure. It was like, oh, that would be awesome. But I didn't think that was going to happen. But my guides gave me like little nudges along the way. And I listened and followed. And now I'm a published author. So my guides never said, go write a book. They just gave me little hints like, maybe you should go check your emails right now. Just then for me to find out that Hay House was organizing a writer's workshop. And then I signed up for the writer's workshop and I attended. And that led me to writing a book proposal for Hay House. But it started with like that little niggling feeling to go check my emails. again, my guides didn't say, hey, Yamile, so the plan is you're going to write a book and then this is going to happen and then that is going to happen. Nope. That's not how it works. They give you like these little hints that come through your intuition, and you have to follow up on that. And then once you take that step, you get the next hint, and then you can take the next step. So don't wait around for them to tell you this is the end goal. This is how the plan works. If I hadn't listened that day, I wouldn't be speaking to you today. I wouldn't have this show. I wouldn't be here. I would be doing something completely different. And the same is true for you. Discovering your gifts and purpose is a process. All you have to do is be brave enough to trust that you have a purpose. First of all, that's really important. And that you are actually already living it because you're alive and because you're here. You are already on that journey. You might not see the bigger picture, but you're already here. You're living your purpose. And that each action you take brings you closer to discovering what it is. So your guides use your dreams and your imagination to give you signs. They use them to let you know what you should pursue and where you should invest your time and energy. Your dreams and hopes and wishes are your GPS, basically. They show you the way. Follow them. So if you always felt like you wanted to do something with animals, follow that. It doesn't have to be that you give up your job and then start and become a vet, unless that's what you want. But it can also be that you just start volunteering, taking your elderly neighbor's dog out every day. And then because you take their dog out, you meet other dog owners and you realize, oh, these other dog owners also need people to walk their dogs. Maybe I can take 3 at the same time and maybe I can make a little money with that. And then maybe you realize, oh, I'm really good with like training dogs. And then you take the next step and you become a dog trainer. And then you take the next step and maybe you're going to end up on Oprah because you're like the best dog trainer in the world. So it's like these little steps that you need to take without your guides telling you, hey, in 10 years, you're going to be on Oprah. No, that's not how it works. So, but they do give you like these insights, and you get them, like I said, your dreams, your imagination, synchronicities, little signs, little like inklings. Follow these because they do often come from your soul, your own soul, or your spirit guides. So the next question is how to develop your natural gifts with the help of your spirit guides. So the second part of the quote by David Wiskett says, the work of life is to develop your gifts. So the first part was the purpose of life is to discover your gift. The second part is the work of life is to develop your gift. In my case, that meant that once I discovered that I can communicate with spirit guides, I now had to learn how to do it on demand, how to give readings, how to structure the readings, how to keep focused, like because I'm going into like trance and it's easy to get out of the trance. So I had to learn how to do all that stuff. And then when I signed with Hay House, I had to learn how to actually write a book. I had never written a book. I had no clue how to do it. I had to learn how to structure it, how to use editing software, how to work with like editors, all kinds of things that I had never done before. But again, I trusted that my spirit guides would lead me in the right direction. They nudged me to order a book by Kelly Notaras, for example. Her book is called The Book You Were Born to Write, and it's absolutely amazing. If you ever want to write a book, like a self-help book, read it. Kelly Notaras, The Book You Were Born to Write. It was an invaluable resource while I was writing my own book. It was amazing. Like her book got me the deal with Hay House because I could tell them this is what my book is going to be like. This is the structure. This is the chapters. This is going to go in this chapter. This is going to go in this chapter. And I learned all that from that one book. And my guides nudged me to buy the book. I almost didn't do it. And if I hadn't done it, if I hadn't listened to that little nudge, again, I wouldn't be here. I would be doing something completely different. So this second step of like basically doing the work is hard work. You got to put in the time and effort to hone your craft. No one can do that for you. You can be born an amazing dancer. You will still have to practice every day until your feet bleed. That's just how it is. And everyone has to do that. No one can do that for you, not even your guides. So now let's focus on that last part of David Biscuit's quote, which says, the meaning of life is to give your gift away. And this is where we grow beyond ourselves and make our life about true service. So the meaning of life is to give your gift away basically means to share your gift, to give it to others, to share your gift with others so that they can benefit from it. The question is, how do I create like change in the world with the help of my spirit guides? And using myself as an example again, so my book, The 7 Types of Spirit Guide, isn't just about helping you connect with your personal spirit guides. That's a huge part of it. But it's also about bringing more diversity to the spiritual community. That's a goal I consciously work towards. That's why I discuss all these different kinds of guides. So these 7 different types that shamans, mediums, witches, priests, and everyday people have worked with across the globe and throughout history. I want my book to open people's minds to the diversity of the spirit world, because out there, there's all kinds of beings out there. And I want to inspire people to help create a more inclusive, egalitarian, and collaborative world. In your case, creating change in the world might look totally different. In fact, let me know in the chat, where do you want to see change happen? It can be big, it can be small. You don't have to like have the answers. You don't have to know how to create that change. Just tell me like one area in life that you think could be improved to benefit the world. Could be about the environment, could be about animal rights, could be about diversity, it could be about education, something. Tell me something that you think should be improved. And let me know in the chat. And so come up with something and then close your eyes and ask your guide for inspiration, and ask them to let you know how you, with your particular gifts and skill set, can help create that change. You can do it out loud, or you can do it just inside your own mind. Ask them to let you know how you, with your particular gifts and skill set, can help create that change. Don't expect an answer right now. Just over the following week, pay attention and see what happens. Don't necessarily expect miracles. Just follow the little nudges, signs, and inspiration. Because that is how real change happens, one little step at a time. And then it's about taking action on that step, taking action on your inspiration, on your intuition. Even if you don't know how to communicate with your guides, like I said, they communicate with you through your dreams, through your imagination, through these little nudges, through inspiration, through books that you find, through inspiring you to go online and find a certain teacher, to coming to a show like this, whatever it is. When you feel like this little like, hey, go do this, follow it. Meditation is great because it connects you with your guides, but being a light worker means that you gotta put in the actual work. Like the word actually says it, light worker. It means we have to do actual work, which, by the way, is also why I will be interviewing George Lizos next week. So he's the best-selling author of Light Workers Gotta Work. And he used to work at Hay House. He now has his own business. The book is amazing. He also wrote another book. Maybe some of you know him. And because he's all about this, like, light workers gotta work, I'm going to interview him. We're probably going to do it live. So check your inbox this next week if you're interested to hear more about that. All right, so let me see what you guys wrote in the chat. Yeah, you saw my dog, that's Sancho. Let me see. Oh, here's a question from Angie, wants to know, how long did it take you from that moment to fully realize your purpose? Good question. And that's an interesting question, because the thing is with purpose also, it develops, so it changes. There were different stages, let's say it like this. So the first stage was in 2016 that I knew, okay, there's something about like with spirit guides. And then in 2016, I knew, okay, I have to start doing readings, because that was my spirit guides literally woke me up and said, you're going to start doing readings. And then the next part was like the book. And then the next part is like something else. So, but like the whole journey that I went through has been 20 years by now. But again, like it's step by step by step. That's why I'm telling everyone, like, don't wait for you to understand the big picture. Take the step that you can take right now. If you know you want to be, again, a dog walker, then just go and set up your website. And even that is like a big step. If that's too much, then just start with, okay, so what am I going to say on my about page about myself? And just put that in your calendar. Say tomorrow between 2 and 4, I'm going to write my about page. And then once that step is taken, your guides will give you the next little clue. That's how it works. Let's see. Yeah, letting go of control is hard. I know. I'm a Virgo. I know all about it. Thanks, Martine. Rosa says they give us breadcrumbs, which is why being present is key. Absolutely. Yes. Being present is key, and trusting like these breadcrumbs. That sounds weird, but yeah, trusting the little signs is important, and then taking action. Otherwise, we are stuck in one place and we don't move forwards. And we can't move forward, or our spirit guides can't help us move forwards if we don't take that step. Martine says animals show up near me. Yeah. Each one in our own way learning. Absolutely. Okay, Angie says, I would love to help people heal with energy. Great. So you're already pretty clear about that. So what's your next step? Let me know in the chat, like, what's your next step? What's one small step that you can take today that takes you closer to living your purpose? Carolyn says, or Caroline, I'm not sure. More natural products, foods, lotions, oils, medicines. Great. So ask your guides to help you make a change there. And it can be in all kinds of ways. So don't just think you have to, I don't know, start your own lotion company. Maybe that's actually what you want to do. I'm not saying don't do it. It's just an example, but it could be in different ways. Maybe you start working because maybe you're great at marketing, and you start working at a marketing company that only works with other companies that create natural products. So it can be in all kinds of different ways. Miriam says education, great. Angie says empathy and equality, yes, so important. Genevieve says help people heal with tarot and oracle card readings, great. So you already know what you're doing. What's the next step, Genevieve? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to teach? Do you want to create your own oracle cards? What is your next step? Lucy says more compassion and understanding for one another. Great. So how are you going to do that? Ask your guides to give you some hints and pay attention over the week, and then follow up. Arcana says help old and needy people. That's also great. They definitely need help. What's your next step? Elizabeth says help with essential oils. Great. So again, what's your next step? I ask everyone the same question. Dana says, I'd love to help animals. Sarah says, identity. That's a really interesting one. Like I said earlier, I definitely had huge identity issues when I was younger, because I was adopted as a baby, and I had a hard time like figuring out who I am and all that stuff. David says, I think we need to change globally as individuals. I feel like as people, we need to be more self-aware and to be able to find answers through ourselves, I guess. Oh, it jumped. I lost it. Sorry. Have to jump. Rosa says music. Music brings unity. I would love to create beautiful music with healing frequencies to elevate the vibrations of whoever listens to my music. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. What's your next step? Do you have a website? How do people find your music? How do you bring your music to the people? Maybe that's the next step that you can take. Akena says butterflies. Awesome. Let me know what you're going to do about butterflies. Martine says she's 51 and in the good direction, had gifts for life. Awesome. Sarah says help raising awareness that we are all one and help people get in contact with their true self. Amazing. How are you going to do that? What's your next step? What's one step you can take today that takes 5 minutes that you can do to move forwards with creating change in the world? If you don't know, ask your guides. That's what they're for. And don't wait for them to like say, this is what you're going to do. Listen to your intuition, listen to your own imagination, your dreams, all of that, because your guides speak to you through these signs. Let me see. Genevieve says, I already have set up a YouTube channel for free readings, and I'm currently in college taking courses for a bachelor's degree in creative writing so that I can write spiritual books. Amazing. Then start writing. You don't have to have that degree to start writing. Just start writing every day. Write 100 words a day, 200 words a day. Just start writing. And Arcana says, I see butterflies and numbers when I try to connect with my guides. Yeah, perfect. So that's your sign. So when you see butterflies somewhere, let's say you're on a walk in the woods and there's like 2 different paths that you could take, and there's a butterfly that shows you to take one path, follow the butterflies. Who knows where that will lead, and who knows how that will help you create change in the world. All right, so I know that today's show might not have answered all your questions about finding your purpose. I mean, that's a huge, huge topic that I can't just discuss in 1 or 20 minutes, actually. But there is a method to my madness, because over the following weeks and months, I will walk you through the whole process step by step. So what we talked about today, we will go over like step by step over the next few weeks and months. And today I first had to basically set the stage and get you ready for the journey we are going to embark on together. Getting in the right mindset is crucial, and that's what we did today. So next week, we will take the next step and talk about finding your spiritual roots, because where do things start? Like, we are going through a process. We want to grow something, then we need to start with the roots, right? And I will reveal the cover of my upcoming book also next week. So if you want to see that, definitely come join us. So question, where are you on this journey? Are you in the process of discovering your gifts and your purpose? So that first part of David Biscuit's quote, then type A in the chat. So are you in the process of discovering your gifts and purpose? You're not quite sure yet what your gifts and purpose are, then type A. Or are you in the process of developing your gifts? So basically honing your craft, then type B. And if you're in that last part of sharing your gifts with the world already, then type C. I'm curious to see how many people are in which stage. So we have lots of A's. Wendy says A, Dana A, Rosa, Jem, Crystal, Miriam, David, Michelle, Eddie, Lucy. Then Martine says B. Kara says C. Sarah says B. Will says C. So we have a few B's and C's. Awesome. Angie's not quite sure. She's somewhere between A and B. Genevieve C. Sarah A. Sarah B. C. And Carolyn A. Starting over. Oh, this is interesting, Carolyn, because I've done a few doing overs. Before I did this, I used to teach artists how to sell their art online. And I completely, changed my career path in that sense. And what I discovered is that you actually don't start over. It feels like it, but it's like building blocks. So you have this one building block, and then you have a building block here, and now you're building on top of it. But these building blocks that you had before are still part of the whole story, are part of the whole journey. So I don't know if you feel like this, but a lot of people do feel like, oh, I wasted so much time doing this. But in actuality, my purpose is that you didn't waste any time. You just learned one skill set, and now you're building on top of that. Even if there doesn't seem to be a direct correlation, there usually is. If you don't see it yet, you will in a few months, in a few years, or whenever. Then Selena says A. Glow says A. And Richard says AC. Not sure. So you're not sure where you are, or what does that mean? Let me know. So if you want to learn more and use your spirit guides' wisdom to create real change in your own or other people's lives, keep following the Spirit Guide Show. Like I said, I'm going to walk you guys through this process. The book is part of it. We're going to do a book club. I'm going to also launch, finally, again, Spirit Guide Society, which is what I'm talking about right now. So I'm in the process of building a community called Spirit Guide Society. And it's basically bringing together spiritual seekers, light workers, spirit workers, and spiritual activists who are on a quest to create close relationships with their spirit guides. And the purpose is to develop our spiritual gifts, live with purpose every day, and design a better world in 2020 and beyond. So basically, creating change in the world with the help of our spirit guides. If this sounds like something you want to be part of, then click that green button down here where it says follow your spirit guide's call. And you will also get a 10% discount code in case you want to book a spirit guide reading with me at some point. All right, so we're gonna move on, and we're gonna do readings. Or should we do Q&A first? I'm not quite sure. We're gonna do Q&A first. All right, so again, if you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, come on over here, because only here can I answer your questions. There's a link either above or below, depending on which social network you are on, in the description. Click that link, come on over here, and I can answer your questions and give you readings later. So you can just type your questions, I think, in the chat. Let's see if that works out. I hope so. Let's see. So if you have any kind of questions about what we talked about today, about spirit guides in general, about my journey, whatever it is that you want to know, type it in the chat and I'm happy to answer it. In the meantime, I'm just reading some comments. And she says, I was a theater producer in the West End, then became a behavioral psychologist working with executives. A leap into the unknown can be the best thing. Absolutely. And I'm sure that some of the skills you learned like at a theater producer, you're still using. Okay, Genevieve asks, how can I perform lucid dreaming effectively? That's a question I can't answer because I'm not a lucid dreamer. I've had like sometimes that it happened kind of like by accident, but I don't really know how to do it. I can't, that's not my expertise. If you're into that, then you can follow Charlie Morley. He is a great teacher. Here, I'll type that in the chat. He also has some books out. I think he's writing another one also for Hay House. So look him up. Dana wants to know, can you potentially have multiple purposes? That's an interesting question. I think yes and no, in a sense that yes, you can have multiple purposes. In a sense, you can write a book and you can be a musician and you can also be a politician all at the same time. So in that sense, you have multiple purposes. But I think that if you really take a bird's view, then you can see that there's actually an overarching theme that all these different purposes fall under. So in that sense, you only have one purpose. And I think it's always a good idea to take that bird's eye view because the more you are attuned to the bigger picture, the easier it is to make decisions in your everyday life. Because you know, okay, so let's say the overarching purpose is creating more equality in the world. And you do that through your book, you do that through your music, you do that through being a politician. And then you, at some point, you might have to make a decision. So, okay, I can't do all three anymore. Maybe I have to give one up, or maybe I want to, I don't know, not be a local politician anymore, but run for the Senate or whatever. Then you can look at your overarching purpose and see, okay, what serves that purpose, what doesn't. If I become a senator, does that help my purpose? Yes, okay, then I go with that. If it doesn't, then no, then I'll just focus more on the writing or whatever. So yeah, I hope that answers your questions. Sarah asks, how can I ask a proper question to my spirit guides? The same way you ask your friends, basically. You want to quiet your mind. You can like just sit on a somewhere comfortable. Don't lie down. I know a lot of meditation teachers say lie down. I don't think that's a good idea because our bodies are used to see lying down as a signal to fall asleep. So that's why a lot of people fall asleep when they do meditation. So I think it's better to like sit up on a chair, for example, or on the floor if that's comfortable to you, with a straight back so you can breathe properly. Then you close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Maybe do it again. Just focus on your breathing. And then as long as it takes, just sit until you're calmed down, until your thoughts slow down. And then you focus on what you want to ask. And then you just ask the question, just like you would talk to a friend. So you just sit and you say, dear spirit guides, I'm ready to take the next step in the journey to live my purpose. And I would love it if you could give me a hint to what that next step is. And I will promise that I will take action on that. Thank you. And that's it. That's how I do it. And if you're in a rush and you're in the supermarket, you can do that too. But it's just more effective if you are focused, if your intention is focused. So that's why I say like meditate a little bit before. And it can take you 2 minutes. It can take you 20 minutes to calm your mind down. That's totally fine. You can also do a walking meditation. go for a walk outside in nature, for example. As long as you bring your mind down, focused, and then you ask the question. All right, let's see. Can you have more than one spirit guide? Yes, I believe we all have a team of guides. So we have a few that are like our core team. And then we have what I call the experts. So they come in to help us in certain situations. Let's say you are changing jobs or you're starting a business. And so then spirit guides will come in that are specialized in helping people with that. They will help you. And once the work is done, they go and move on. So our team changes, but we have a core team that stays the same. And some guides even stay over several lifetimes. When and how can I connect to my spirit guides and angels? I want to write a book. Guide me. We'll get to that part, like how to connect with your spirit guides and angels and how to actually talk to them. We're going to do a ceremony together where you will connect with your guides. But like I said, that's a journey that's going to take us a little bit. So one step at a time, and just like keep coming back to the show and we will get there. David asks, if you want to learn faster, I do have a course. I did it live, so I have the recordings and you can purchase that and I can give you the link. Hold on. And there might be some people here on the call, I almost said, on this show that have done the course. Let me see. Oh, wait, sorry, that's not it. Sorry. Totally ignore that. Give me 1 sec. Can I delete that? Yes. Sorry, that was the wrong link again. This is the one. Sorry about that. So if you're interested, like I said, this is like a course that's 5 recorded workshops of 2 hours each. And it's not just like giving you the theory and the how to do it. It's really in the course, we actually do it together. So I lead you through meditations and I lead you through connecting with your guides. All right, trying to see where I left off. David asks an interesting question. How will spirituality help us in our real life? I'm not a very spiritual person, so I don't quite understand how it can help me in my real life. Interesting question, David. Give me 1 second to think about that. And also, guys, like all of you, like you're all spiritual people, like, and you have your own experiences. Let us know in the chat what you think about that question. Like, give us your answer. So I think, David, that spirituality can help us in real life in many, many ways. Like I said, for example, if I hadn't started my spiritual journey, I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have written a book. I wouldn't be doing readings with clients. So my life would look completely different. And that's a real life difference, right? So that's how it helped me personally in my life. It can also help you, for example, one big benefit that it brings to a lot of people is that they're not afraid of death anymore. Sure, like people might still not want to die in a like, no one wants to suffer, but the fear of the unknown is often taken away if you live a spiritual life. And that when that fear is gone, you live your life in a very different way, like in a very different way, in the sense that you generally don't fear the unknown anymore. Death is really just a symbol for the unknown. But even situations where you might lose your job, for example, you you don't freak out that much anymore because you know, okay, well, I'm in an unknown situation. I can deal with this. So there's many different ways that it can influence your life in a practical and in a real life manner. But again, guys, let me know in the chat what you think. What's your answer? How does spirituality help you in real life? I'm curious about that. Martine says, yes, more than one spirit guide. Yes, you can have more than one spirit guide. Absolutely. Carolyn says, how do I let go of the fear of appearing woo-woo to family and friends, especially having been a Suits corporate girl gone witchy? Another great question. I think the best way is to just go slow, to start mentioning things like dropping hints here and there. And so in that sense, making it normal. Maybe you bring your oracle cards one time and you just show them for fun. Or maybe you just talk about a book that you've read that was interesting, that was woo, and just see how people react. And the more you do that, the more you will realize that people are probably not going to judge you for it. And if they do, then that's their problem. But that's how I would go about it. Like, one little step at a time. That's the theme for today, I guess. Martine wants to know, Carolyn, good question. Elissa says, interesting about lucid dreaming. I have so much dreams that I don't, oops, I lost it. Where did you go? Sorry, I lost your, it jumps sometimes when you guys type. I have so much dreams that I don't know what they mean. I'll look into Charlie Morley. Thank you. Yeah, about dreams and their meaning, or generally this question about what does it mean. It's important to ask these questions, but it's also important to not get stuck on that question. Because, for example, with dreams, sometimes you can have a dream and only 20 years later, you will find out what it was about. You know, there is something about this dream. Like, I once had a dream. I was living in Germany at the time. I was in my mid-20s. I had a dream that I was in a garden. No, I was in a house, and the house was really like weird, complicated to go from one room to the other. And it was like a maze a little bit. So I was going through the house, couldn't find who I was looking for. So I went outside into the garden. And there was this table, and an older lady with long white hair was sitting at the table, and she was waving me over. And so I went and sat with her. And she said, it's time. And I was like, time for what? And she goes, it's time to go. And she pointed into one direction of the garden. And I saw a little path that led out of the garden. And I knew, she didn't say that, but in my dream, I knew this path was like going towards the south of France. And then I woke up and I was like, what does that mean? I have no idea. What does that mean? And I couldn't figure it out. So at some point I just had to let it go. And then in when was it? 18, I think, 17 maybe. I was invited to go to a writer's retreat in the south of France at a castle for a whole month for free. And I was like, when I arrived there, that's where I started writing this book. And I was like, oh, that's what she was talking about. It's time to like start my spiritual journey, which eventually led to me writing this book. But I didn't know that then. And so I couldn't have figured out what does it mean. I just didn't have all the details. So sometimes, yes, it's good to ask yourself, what does it mean? But don't get like hung up on it. Just store it away. Like, build this archive inside your mind, store all these like little things away. And at some point, it's like you get the puzzle pieces, but if you only have one or you only have 10, you can like try to make it fit, but you just can't see the whole picture. You just have to store it away, wait until you get more puzzle pieces, and then you can see the meaning clearer. I hope that makes sense. Sarah says, how can we be certain that it is our intuition speaking and not a negative thought or fear? How can we be more connected to our intuition? So our intuition always gives us information that helps us move towards more joy, more happiness, more connection, more fulfillment, more alignment. Our fear always leads us to more suffering, more fear, more disconnection, more anxiety. So if basically you can judge it, you can know if it's your intuition or your fear by the impact it has on your life. And so the more you pay attention, the more you can what's the word, differentiate the voice of your intuition and the voice of your fear, just by paying attention, by following up. If you think, okay, this is my intuition, or this is my spirit guides, or this is my soul, because it seems like it's directing me into the right direction, and then you follow up on the intuition, on the guidance, and you see what the result is. Does it make my life better? Great. Then I follow that voice next time as well. If you follow a voice because you think it's going in the right direction, but then it actually has like negative consequences, then you know, okay, maybe that voice I shouldn't listen to. And you just pay attention. And one trick you can do is to give these different voices like a face. You give them a personality. For example, the voice of your intuition could be like a friendly grandmother, and the voice of your fear could be, I don't know, like a snake. That's a traditional one. Oh, I have nothing against snakes. It's just an example. But so, and then the more practical you make it by giving it like images, the easier it is for your brain to work with it and to differentiate it and to like listen to one and not the other. So yeah, it's about practice most of all, and seeing the results in your own life. And just, yeah, noticing, does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel excited? Does it make you feel joyful, the information that you get from like that little voice inside of you? If it does, you can't really go wrong. All right, guys, I think we need to start doing the readings because we're almost already at the end. Martine says the oracle cards of Kyle Gray work great. Advice to Carolyn, not with angels oracle messages. I'm not sure what you're saying, but yes, I love these oracle cards by Kyle Gray. Michelle is doing the course that I just told you about, my master course. She says she's on workshop 2 and she's enjoying it so far. Great. I'm glad to hear that. Right. Martine says, oh, this was in answer to the question about how spirituality helps in real life. Martine says, it has supported me in grief over loss of a young pet, guided me in my life with oracle cards. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That must be hard. But yeah, oracle cards are great. Kara says, spirituality helps me stay connected to my heart and being quite comfortable with the unknown. Yes. Kayad says, you see life differently. Yes. Crystal says, I've had intuitive moments in my life, but I don't know how to tap into that regularly. Practice. It's all about practice. Like I said earlier, you can be a super gifted dancer. If you never dance, then you're gonna lose it. And it's like a muscle. So the more you use your intuition, the clearer it will become. And you start using your intuition with like small decisions. Like I said, if you go for a walk in the woods, don't set a goal where you're going to walk. Just let your intuition guide you. See where you end up, because there's no risk in that. You're not going to, lose your house over not taking the right path in the woods. Or what should I eat for dinner tonight? You have two options. Ask your intuition. What would be better for me right now? And go with that. And again, see what the results are. And the better the results, the more you realize, oh, this is good for me. There's nothing to be scared of. The easier it will become to listen to your intuition. And then you can take it to the next step and like ask bigger questions once you trust that voice. Arcana says spirituality, you grow faster and very nicely. You become more calm, quiet, and generous. Yes. Crystal says spirituality gives me hope. Yes, that's a big one. Carolyn says, David, it helped me to be authentic, to raise my daughter consciously as a complete person, soul, more peace, more joy. Oh no, I missed it. Where is it? I can't find it anymore. I'm so sorry. Oh, here. And looking younger as a bonus. I love that. Meeting conscious people like all you guys and Yamile on Insta. Yeah, exactly. Kayat says you learn to transmute feelings and accept your way. Sarah says, would opening the chakras help communicate easier with our spirit guides? I think our chakras are always open, but yes, when I do a proper meditation to communicate with spirit guides, I go through my chakras and either like open them, like I visualize them opening, or I cleanse them with like white light coming from the universe, because it helps me set the intention to clear the space, and so that my guides can come in and we can work together. So in that sense, yes. All right, guys, I'm going to do a quick few mini readings. Thank you guys for answering David's question. I can't read all of them, unfortunately, but I hope David does. And I love like reading what you guys are up to and what you think. That's why also I want to create that community. So I'm not the only one talking, because I have a lot to learn from you guys as well. All right, so here's how it works. Again, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, find the link in the description above or below and come on over here so I can give you a mini reading. Now I want you to find the Ask a Question section. It's right, if you're on your laptop or desktop, it's right down here under the green button. It says Ask a Question. Click on it, and then if you are a newbie, if you've never had a reading from me before, then please type newbie in the Ask a Question section, not in the chat. It's a different thing. Type newbie, and I'll invite you on screen. And then I'll give you a mini reading. All right. So I'm going to invite Linda on screen. And I'm going to invite Wendy on screen. And I'm going to invite Jem on screen. No one's here yet. You guys will get like a little notification that says that I invited you on screen. You just have to say yes. Oh. And then you'll be here like Linda is. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
I can't hear you, unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
Is that just me? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Jem, can you say something? Can I hear you?
I mean, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Give me 1 second.
We're not leaving. Okay. You get me some.
Why can't I hear you? Okay, mic is working. Camera. Give me 1 second. Okay, can you say something again?
Me? Hello?
Nope, still can't hear you.
No?
I can hear you, Linda.
Oh,
Well, otherwise we'll have to do it without you talking.
I can hear you too.
You will just have to
Okay.
nod. Let's try again. That is so weird. Oh, well. Let's try it without. All right, so we're going to go with Linda first. So there's like a few things that you need to know. So I have my own definition of spirit guides, which is that any kind of being from the higher realms that is connected to us in unconditional love and wants to help us on our spiritual path or in day-to-day life is a spirit guide. And there are 7 different types of guides. So you have angels, and look me at my little list because I always forget one. We have angels. We have ancestors. So that could be ancestors like parents, grandparents, but it can also be ancestors from hundreds or even thousands of years back, or it can be ancestors from past lives, or it could be like an ancestor in the sense that they have a similar or had a similar purpose to you, and so they want to work with you. Then we have nature spirits, elves, fairies, gnomes, all the other names they have all around the globe. Then we have star beings, which also known as aliens, but I don't like to call them aliens because then people think about scary Hollywood movies, and that's not what it's like. Then we have ascended masters who were once humans here on Earth, but reached enlightenment and left the reincarnation cycle. Then we have deities, so gods and goddesses. And last but not least, animal guides, which are not the soul of an individual animal, but the spirit of like an entire species. And you get the messages you need to hear, not what you probably want to hear or expect to hear. So you have to have an open mind. All right, so let me see who I can get for you. I'm going to close my eyes because that helps me to focus. Let's see. All right, Linda, there's 2 beings here actually for you. There's your ancestors. Actually, it's a female, maybe a little bit older than you, not much. It's interesting. She looks like the way she shows herself. It's like she's wearing. It's she looks European, and she looks like she's wearing like a traditional, traditional clothes from the region she was region she was from. And it actually reminds me a little bit of what Dutch people used to look like back in the day. Do you know if you have any like connections to Holland ancestral-wise?
No, Ireland.
I can't hear you, so you have to go yes or no or
No,
no.
no.
But it's interesting because I think it's somewhere around there, somewhere like Holland, maybe the border to Germany, maybe around there. That's what she looks like. And then there's also a nature spirit. Okay, got it. So this ancestor wants you to know that you have a connection to nature spirit, and that connection to nature spirit is an ancestral one in the sense that your ancestors already worked with this type of spirit guide. And so you inherited that spirit guide through your ancestral lineage. Working with that spirit guide will help you also develop your healing abilities. Are you aware that you have healing abilities? Well, you do. So maybe start like experimenting with different kinds of healing modalities, anything that your intuition, your guides tell you to, whatever you like, you're interested in, explore it. Could be Reiki, could be healing with your oracle cards, could be anything really, whatever you fancy. Just start experimenting and see where it leads you. don't drink too much coffee. Better to drink tea. Definitely herbal teas. And when you drink herbal teas, pay attention really to what kind of tea it is, what kind of plant it's made from. Do a little bit of research about the plant. What kind of like healing properties does it have? Why do people make tea with that specific plant? Look up like what does it look like, basically forge or create a connection to that plant, to the spirit of that plant, because that will help you actually to receive its energy better than just like drinking it, but creating a connection on a spiritual level, basically. Again, that will help you discover and develop your healing abilities. So that's it. I hope that helps you, and let us definitely know how it's going. I'm curious about that. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, so then we have Jim. Oh, you're muted. Can you say something? Maybe I can hear you now.
Yeah, so I tried.
No, still not working. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, all right, let me see. All right, Jen, there's an angel here for you. There's actually two, a female and a male. And he has silvery blue aura, and also like his clothes are silvery and blue, and his hair is blue and silver. And even his eyes are like blue but have like a silver shine to it. And she is like more all in white with like a little bit of purple. So she has a purple streak in her hair. She has white hair, short-ish. Let's see. Right, so they're talking about balance. That's why they show up as two. They're talking about balance and finding balance in yourself. They're saying that you can go like very much from one extreme to another, like a scale that goes like woo, and then the other direction woo, and it's about finding that balance in between. Does that make sense to you? That you can go, yeah. Right. So they're saying that for you, when you have a goal or you have a dream or you have something that you want to do in your life, accomplish in your life, to not get too obsessed with it in the sense that you, go to one extreme in the sense that you just like are into this one thing and everything else kind of like gets ignored, but to have some balance in your life. For example, you might be working on a really interesting project, but don't forget to also like eat healthily or get some exercise or see your friends or whatever it is. So basically about finding balance, creating balance in your life, because it will help you to also deal with like inner things like anxiety, or feeling unbalanced, like mentally unbalanced or emotionally unbalanced. Like I said, anxiety, depression, these kinds of things, balance will help with that. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see. So basically you have like that male angel standing on your right and the female standing on your left. And when you feel that you're going like that you're going that you're becoming unbalanced in some way, shape, or form, remember that they are with you and that they help you. And then you focus on both at the same time, and that will help you to create balance again. Yeah, I hope that helps.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to invite one more person. We're over time already, but I want to do one more. Let's see. Oh, you guys can hear everyone? It's just me? Interesting. Okay. I'm going to invite Miriam. I hope she's going to show up. I don't want to invite anyone else up here and then say, well, now time is up. I can't. That's too cruel. So I'm hoping Miriam's going to show up. But it doesn't look like it. So then I'm going to invite Angie. I'm going to wait a little bit to hope that she will show up. Yes, there we go. Let's see. Miriam, perfect. And Angie. Now I have to do 2 more readings. All right. All right, we're going to go with Miriam first. I still don't know why I can't hear you, and it's upsetting me a little bit. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to try something.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Oh no, hang on.
Can you hear me now? Oh no, I can't hear you anymore.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can only hear Andy. No.
No, can't hear you.
Hello? No, we can't hear you.
Mariam, I can hear you. Can you hear
But
me?
I can't hear her.
No, nor can I. Oh. Oh no. Sarah, thanks for calling me a girl. It's a long time since I've been called. Can't hear you.
I don't know what's going on today.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So here-
Yeah, can hear you
Okay,
now.
perfect. So I did the whole, you couldn't hear me at all when I was doing the reading.
No, but it looked really good.
Great. So I'll just recap real quick what I got. Like, so I didn't see your guide yet, but what I got was that you had I'm talking to Angie now. You had a past life, and you were a man in that past life, and you went to war, and you were betrayed, and you lost your life. That's important for you to know in this lifetime, because it still has consequences in the sense that you sometimes have a hard time trusting people. And that comes from that past life.
Right.
Okay, let's see.
Sorry.
Also, let's see. Who's telling me this? Right, okay, so this is an Ascended Master. It's a male. And you met this Ascended Master when he was still incarnating here, and you learned a lot from him. So I'm not sure if it's the same past life or another one, but you learned like to read and write from that Ascended Master. And so he's very much interested in helping you find the right information. And basically he would be someone who helps you find the right books to read, for example, or the right podcasts to listen to, or however else you get information. And he says, yeah, in this phase in your life, it's about like gathering information for the next step. So
Yes.
there is something that you want to do, but you don't have all the information yet. And so it's like about, gathering the information. That's really what it's about. So listen to your intuition when it comes to these things. He will guide you. So if you stumble across a podcast or a book and it kind of like you get a tingling feeling or something like this, pay attention and read the book, listen to the podcast, or get that information, because it will help you on your path forward.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so, and now we're gonna do Miriam. Is that how to pronounce your name? Did I say that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Where are you from, Miriam?
I'm Lebanese.
Oh, okay.
But I
Awesome.
live in the States.
So how come there are so many Lebanese people today? That's amazing.
Oh, actually, my sister's here too, so maybe that's why.
I was just gonna ask you if you know each other.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Also, in this case, I can't see yet who it is, but I'm getting information. I see you walking. And the information I'm getting is that you're like a very driven person, in the sense like when you set a goal, you really want to go after it. And you really have an you have an entrepreneurial spirit, in the sense that if you haven't yet, you should definitely think about starting your own business. Is that something you have thought about, or do you already have your own business?
No, not really, but I have some few things in mind.
Yeah, so you have been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I get that so often. I say, like, have you ever thought about this or that? No, but and then so let's see. Who's talking to me? Yeah, definitely start thinking about that, like, seriously, not just like, oh yeah, maybe, or but I can't because, and then you come up with all kinds of reasons why you shouldn't be doing it. And start thinking about this seriously. start taking first steps. No one is saying you have to completely change your life right away, but like take little steps in that direction, make a plan, write down what kind of ideas you have, these kinds of things. There's an angel, it's a female angel, and she wants to help you with that. And she says you have a responsibility because there are people out there that are waiting for you. Well, they're souls. The people are not conscious of this, but waiting for you to step up and do your thing, because you are going to influence these people, and you are going to have an influence on a lot of people. I actually see you standing on some kind of stage and talking to an audience. So that could be like literal, that you're literally going to be on a stage. It could be symbolic. Maybe it's more like you're going to have an internet show like I do, or maybe you're going to be on podcasts. But there's some opportunity for you to talk to an audience of people with the things that you're doing. And it's mostly women that I see in your audience. You're laughing. Is there like a reason?
Oh, no. Just,
okay. And this is very much about like empowerment. So you might be talking about one thing, but the overarching theme is empowerment. And it's important, that you do your job, basically. And that angel is here to help you. And she says her name is Clara, Clara. Yeah, and that's it for today.
yeah.
So now I'm curious, like you say, you've maybe been thinking about that. What, do you have any specific ideas?
No, actually, I was in business. I switched. I'm actually in psychology now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm curious to see where this leads you.
Me too. We'll see.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, guys, we went totally over time. Thank you so much for still being here. If you want to book a 60-minute one-on-one reading, again, you can click that button below, the green one that says follow your spirit guides, call. And also, if you want to be notified of when Spirit Guide Society opens its doors again, you can join a community of like-minded people. Again, click that button. You'll also get an email if you sign up for that wait list. You'll also get an email that gives you a 10% discount for one-on-one readings with me. So thank you so much for coming. It's been fun like always. And I hope to see you next time. And next time I'm going to show you my book cover. I'm so excited about that. And we'll take the next step on this journey for you to create real change in the world and live your purpose. All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.